us home. I said sorry, though I'm not quite sure what I've done. See, I'm stupid like that. I say things without stopping to think. Please forgive me. Oh, I swear, babe, it must be the drink. Now, 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 now. Hey now, there's no need for tears. It's the world that you're living in. Breathing those fears. I'll be here for a long time. Just listen to me. Listen to me. Dry your eyes now for me. Dry your eyes now for me. As we shuffle in from this snowy street, your heart seems heavy as you face your feet. See, I'm awkward like that. See, I don't know what to say, and if I find the words, they're always coming out the wrong way. Hey now, there's no need for tears. It's the world that you're living in. Breathing those fears. I'll be here for a long time. Just listen to me. Listen to me. Dry your eyes now for me. Dry your eyes now for me. Hey now, there's no need for tears. It's the world that you're living in. Breathing those fears. I'll be here for a long time. Just listen to me. Please listen to me. Dry your eyes now for me. Dry your eyes now for me. That's a new song by a singer from West Belfast. Why I say West Belfast, I don't know. It's because it says that's where he's from. His name is Peter McVeigh, and that's from a new album, the title of which I do not know. But that is called Only the World. I think the album is called Lights. He's out soon. That's excellent. Good morning. I need some help today.
Hey?
I need help today.
What about a wee bit of volume on the headphones?
All right, then.
Just that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's enough.
Notice I'm not messing you about?
No, that's good.
Ah! I need some help today. I feel tired and listless. And I get a sore throat on one side. It's difficult for me, I don't know. I'm tired and listless like every other day. Do you know, I'm worried about myself as well on a psychological level because I've discovered that I don't know the difference anymore between William Crawley and Stephen Nolan. Do you know at the end of the programme, sometimes we hear 30 seconds of the morning programme between 9 and we always try and keep it down to about 10. But sometimes I have to listen to 30. Now, today I genuinely did not know if it was William Crawley or Stephen Nolan. What does that mean? That's a very serious way to be. I just didn't know the difference between them. Do you think there's any reason for that?
One will take it as a compliment.
And the other will be very angry.
Yes.
And a gentleman writes to me and he talks about politics. Of course, we have to welcome the Queen today to the Republic of Ireland. My friend, the Queen.
You met her.
Of course I did.
You met the Queen.
And got on extremely well with her. I was the talk of Buckingham Palace. I'll tell that story again. Will I tell the story again?
If you want,
I think I should.
I have a pencil here.
What are you going to do with it?
I shall make notes.
Okay. I'm going to tell the story again about the time I met the Queen. And I would not normally repeat a story, but I think today is a very special day. I was invited to Buckingham Palace. Every once in a while, once every blue moon, prominent, eminent broadcasters from television, radio, and indeed satellite are invited to the BBC for what they call a kind of a broadcasting day.
The BBC?
No, sorry. Slip of the tongue. Buckingham Palace for what they call Broadcasting Day. And it didn't start well because in actual fact, maybe perhaps 3 people from here would be selected to go. And I think Wendy was with me and somebody else. I can't remember who else that person was, but whoever. I think it's done on a rotational basis. I think names are put in a hat. So I don't think I was picked to go, but anyway, I was one of the 3 sent to represent Northern Ireland to meet the Queen in Buckingham Palace. It didn't start well. I was separated from the party. Stop doing things. You listen. You're not listening.
Yes, I am.
You're frittering.
But I know what's coming, you see.
I know. Try to pretend you're interested.
Okay.
Encourage me.
Right.
Anyway, it didn't start well because I was separated from the party amongst the flesh pots of London. And what happens is when you go and see the Queen like that, you have 3 different passes. You have one pass to get through the main gate. You have another pass to get through some kind of little anti-gate. And then you have a third pass to get you actually into the gig itself where the Queen is. So you can't sneak in. So I get a taxi. I hailed a taxi in central London. And I said, take me to Buckingham Palace. And he went, all right, mate. Okay, what are you doing there? I said, I'm being knighted. Mm-hmm. I just thought I'd say that, you know. Anyway, I arrived at the front gate and I said, you'll need 3 passes. Look, here's the first one. Go in the first one. And then the second gate, there's the second one. He said, this is I'm doing it, mate. I said, it's great, isn't it? He said, you must be important. I said, as a matter of fact, I'm very important. And then the third pass, what are you doing that for?
I'll put my hand up. Permission to interrupt you.
Yes.
Morris is on one. Could you tell Morris the story? Because I've heard it before. Maybe Morris could ask you questions about it.
That's so hateful.
No, it's not. No.
Hello, Morris?
Hello?
That's
Do
better.
you want me to tell you that story?
I hear that, yep.
Well, you interrupt me now. I can't remember where I was. Well, the first thing that happened, I was in a taxi, you see, and then I arrived at the main gig where the gate was. And when I arrived at the gate, there were so many photographers around to take photographs of all the famous people who were there. I didn't realise there was going to be famous people there, but there were. All the photographers were there to take the photographs of the famous people as they got out of their cars and their taxis. So when the taxi arrived, I could see the paparazzi, as I imagine that is what they were. I could see them craning their necks to see who this individual was, this single individual was in the taxi. It could have been David Beckham or anybody.
You're not involving Morris.
I'll involve him in a minute.
No,
I'm on a roll here.
But you should be saying to Morris.
I'll talk to him in a minute.
No, but you say to Morris, were you ever at Buckingham Palace?
I'll ask him that in a minute. I don't care where he's been.
Talk to Morris.
I'll talk to him in a minute.
No, but you should be telling
I'm on
Morris.
a roll here. I'm telling the story.
Morris
There's different sections in this story. There's sections in this story. I'll go to him. Anyway, I'm in the taxi and the paparazzi.
Morris. No,
Yep.
you should say that. He was in the taxi, Morris, you see.
Yeah.
You see, I'm involved and you involve Morris.
Do you know what's happening now? The people who are listening to this program are getting very upset at you because you're stopping me telling the story. You're ruining my flow. Anyway, I'm sitting in the back of the taxi and the paparazzi are just craning their necks to see who this famous person is. So the taxi shudders to a halt, the door opens and I walk out and all the paparazzi run over pointing their lenses at me. And then when I walk out, they said, it's all right, it's nobody. And that's how it started. What do you think of that, Morris? See, I'm going to Morris now.
Right.
See me going to
You're
Morris
awfully
now.
hard on you.
And anyway, I went into the Buckingham Palace, and the first thing that greets you when you go into Buckingham Palace, this is true Bill here. You don't hear this kind of stuff from Seamus McKee. I've been there. I went in there, and the first thing that greets you is a very small man with a tray. Now, this very small man with a tray is a waiter. What?
He's not saying to Morris, were you ever there? And you're not involved in Morris.
I'll go to him in a
There's
minute.
No involvement here.
The first thing you see is a small man with a tray.
Were you ever in Buckingham Palace, Morris?
Yep.
There you are. Morris was there.
I don't care.
But there you are. Why didn't you compare stories with Morris?
I'm going to talk to him about the waiters first, then I'll
But
come
Morris,
to him.
did you experience the waiters, Morris?
No.
Well,
Well, you see, he doesn't know anything about the waiters. I'm going to tell him about the waiters. What is the most specific? What is the thing about the waiters at Buckingham Palace that makes them different from any other waiters anywhere else?
Sure, the Waynes in the street know that.
What's the difference?
They're all the same height. So everybody knows that.
What do you mean the same height?
They're all the same size because you can't reach up or reach down for a tray.
No, they're all small.
They're all the same height.
I know, but you didn't say they were small. You said they're the same height. That
All
could be
the
6
same
foot 4.
height. No.
You didn't know that. You know it because I told you.
Ask Morris. What was he? Ask Morris.
Morris, what were you doing at Buckingham Palace?
I was just over to see what it was looking like.
You mean you were standing outside,
Yep.
looking through the gate? And this is the guy you want me to talk to?
So was I.
I know, but everybody looks through the gate. You're talking to a man who met the Queen. Anyway, what they do is they have this tray, and all the waiters are small because they don't like the idea of you having to reach up for your drink. So all the waiters, there's none of them over 5'2". And they're all wee tiny waiters because they're all the same. I said to somebody, I just look at all the size of those guys. Why are they so small? And this guy said it's because they don't like you reaching up for your drink. And you know what they have in each tray? You don't get this kind of stuff in the papers. This is from the horse's mouth here. What you have in each tray, you
Drink.
have a vodka, a gin, and a whiskey, a bottle of water, and a little round plate with little eggs in it and a little kind of powder, right? Do you know what that is?
Yep.
Kind of like gingery little powder. They're quail's eggs. So what you do is you lift a wee vodka and you say, "Any white lemonade?" And they say, "I'm sorry, sir."
They don't know what white lemonade is.
Exactly. And then you lift a quail's egg and you dip it into the wee gingery stuff and you eat that, and then you fire the whiskey down your throat or the vodka.
Is there wee toothpick things? They lift the eggs.
There are no toothpick things.
Would
You
you
lift
put your fingers?
It is
That'd be
well.
very
It is well known.
That'd be very hygienic.
It is well known in Buckingham Palace in Tudor times that people didn't use knives and forks. They ate their grub with their fingers. There is nothing wrong with lifting an egg with your finger because the Tudors expected. And the
But they
Plantagenets.
didn't know about hygiene then.
I know, but they
We
know now, but they don't care. Anyway, I went upstairs. I had about 3 or 4 of those. You still there, Morris?
Yep.
I had about 3 or 4 of
Morris
those.
is not. Janice said that's not what Morris is there for.
Well, what is he there for?
I lost 3 pet lambs in Ballymorn Road this morning.
There you
in
are.
Clinton.
It's nothing to do with me.
3 pet lambs.
I'm talking about the Queen here.
He lost.
All right, well, let's deal with him and get rid of him, and I'll get back to the story. Morris, tell me, you've lost 3 pet lambs?
Yeah.
Where was this?
Ballymorn Road, Clinton.
When did you lose them?
This
We
morning.
got up this morning and they weren't
Will you let
there.
him answer himself? Will you let him
up this
answer
morning.
himself? You got up this morning and they were gone?
Yep.
Where did you keep them, Morris?
In the garden.
In the garden? And a little kind of enclosure of any kind?
It's about 3/4 of an acre of a garden.
Well, do you think they would have escaped, or do you think someone stole them?
I think they probably just escaped.
Really? Okay, so
Yep.
where is that again?
Ballymorn Road, Clinton.
Okay, Killinchy. Now, do you have children? Are they children's pets, Morris?
Yeah, they are indeed, yep.
Oh, well, they will miss them, won't they? They'll miss
Yep.
them.
The wee girl's distraught. She's away to school crying this morning.
Ah, dear. All right, then, okay. We'll ask the people to keep their eyes out for... There's 3 of them. I'm sure they'd be together.
There's 3 of them and they're pretty friendly. They're pretty young, like.
Well, they'll be wandering about, won't they? I mean, they won't know where they're going. They don't know Killinchy all that well, probably. And they'll be just wandering about. So keep motorists and people out for a walk. Keep an eye out for 3 little lambs
Who have lost
who have
our
lost
way.
their way.
Ba, ba, ba.
You see, you ruined that for me. You ruined that for me. That's what you see. You ruined that for me. I was building up to that. See, I'm arsehole. You ruined that for me. There's nothing worse than a man who ruins a presenter's joke. Especially a man, you should have seen that coming too. He said, Gerry's working his way up to this.
He's working with you too long, Gerry.
No, he likes sabotaging me. Anyway, listen, anyone who sees these wee lambs, give us a ring at 08459 555 678. Okay?
All right.
All right, Morris, thank you. We'll
All right, Gerry, thanks.
Try and
Bye.
get those for you. Anyway, I had 3...
John's on too.
Never mind that. I had 3 or 4 vodkas, and I was feeling a wee bit tiddly. A wee bit tiddly there. You know, not enough to be kind of annoying. You know, just a wee kind of... You get a wee
What
light.
time of the day was this?
No, it's about 5 o'clock.
Oh.
Well, you know, you just get a wee light.
Yeah,
A wee light did you
yeah,
get?
yeah,
No, you get at a wedding. Do you know when you have your meal and you say, "Oh, St. Jude's boys, it's far too early for a drink. I'll take one of them. I'll just take one." And then you take 2. No, wee light you get. You know, and you know it's not going to last. And if you keep drinking, you'll be sleeping by 7. Do you know that kind of one? But if you just stop there, you get a wee light for about half an hour, and then you get tired.
No.
You know, and then you either get tired or you go home or you take more drink, and that's you finished. Anyway, so I went upstairs and I went up to the long room. Do you know what the long room?
Upstairs?
Yes.
Upstairs?
Yes.
Can you wander around the place?
Of course you can.
I don't believe you.
You're given a drink in the reception area downstairs, and everybody mingles about, and then they ask you to go upstairs, which is where the Queenie is. Brenda.
Oh,
is-
everybody goes upstairs.
Brenda
I
is
thought you were wandering around
No,
Buckingham
no.
Palace on your own.
Brenda-
in and out of the bedrooms.
Brenda is up there. That's what they call the Queen in private eye. Brenda.
Right.
So they were told that Brenda was upstairs. So we went upstairs, and as you know, well, you should know,
I don't.
but you don't know because you were never there. The long room is lined with wonderful masterpieces, Gainsborough's, Da Vinci's, all the other pubs in Derry.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's an in joke.
Yes.
A lot of pubs in Derry are named after painters because a particular individual who's an artist and he bought a lot of pubs and he called
It wasn't an artist. It wasn't an artist.
All right then. He was a fan of art.
He was a painter and decorator.
What's a painter, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not an artist. You said he was an
You
artist.
tell Hitler that 2 coats a day, to your apartment. Anyway, so look, you're ruining me. The people, the listeners are going to get annoyed with you because you're stopping my flow. You're stopping my flow. Anyway, I went upstairs. I was looking at the Gainsboroughs and the Da Vinci's, not Da Vinci's, but all these wonderful paintings, Dutch old masters. And everybody's just kind of wandering around. And then I'm standing beside this door, and the door opens, and out comes the Queen on her own. And she practically walks into me. And she says, "Hello." I said, "Hello." And I said, "Lovely house." And she said, "I like it." I said, "I'm surprised to see you on your own, Your Majesty." And she said, "I don't suppose that you have any bodyguards in your home either." I said, "As a matter of fact, I don't." I walk around, so I'm chatting away to her. And suddenly a crowd gathers. And we're chatting away for ages and ages. And suddenly I kind of, she was looking at something. She says, "Hey, look over here." And she told me about a particular painting. And I put my arm around her. You see? And then I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, Your Majesty, the last man who did that, I believe, was sacked." "Oh, yes," she said, "the Prime Minister of Australia." I said, "Yes, you can't put your arm around me." And she was very funny, and she was laughing, and I took the arm away, and everybody was looking. And then this man came over and said, "Your Majesty, Your Majesty, Your Majesty, I want you to meet Salmon over here, Your Majesty." And she said, "Okay." And she looked at me and says, "Well, Mr. Anderson, goodbye, nice to meet you." And she went away, and I was talking to her for about 5 minutes. And then all these people all came over to me and said, "What was that all about?" And I said, "Well, no, I was just chatting to her." She says,
Was Wendy there?
"Yeah, but I don't remember. I don't think she was there at that particular
No,
time."
of course not. No, conveniently.
Oh, in other words, what you're saying is this is a lie?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what. You ask Wendy during the Pips.
I'll ask Wednesday during the Pips.
Wednesday during the Pips.
I'll ask Wednesday.
Anyway, everybody came over and said to me, and they said, "What was that all about?" I said, "Well, nothing. I was just chatting to her." She said, "She never talks to anyone for more than 30 seconds. You were talking to her for 5 minutes."
I'm going to ask Wendy.
And I said, "Well, I was telling her what a wonderful job that Radio Ulster does in broadcasting to a divided community."
What about John?
You're no fun. See you're no fun. Where is he?
I have a good name for me now.
I have one too.
Prostate coil. I stop your flow.
Okay, Pros. Where is the person?
2.
I'm tired today. I got ruined me that whole story. I left a lot of that out, you know.
Janice says you're not well today.
Do you know why I left a lot of that out?
Why, you're
because
tired?
I knew that there was nobody in here listening.
Well, we heard it.
No, but you see, if there's nobody in here listening, it means that I'm discouraged. Because I know the people out there want to hear, but if I get nothing but ennui and boredom in here, it tires me, saps my strength. Prostate.
Yeah.
Anyway, who's this? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
I get no encouragement here.
Yes, no encouragement. I'm John Mooney.
I have great stories, John.
Yes, from Antrim Lions Club.
Okay,
and we have
John.
our big May ball this Friday.
Have you? Right.
Yes, and the trouble is you're very good at finding things.
Uh-huh.
And this is an unusual quest. What is happening is 5 of our Lions have put themselves for nomination. And one of them will be thrown in with their dinner suit and all into a tank of water just before the dinner begins
What a
in
great
front
idea.
of 300 people.
Will you make sure he's a solicitor?
Well, listen, I haven't a solicitor.
A state agent?
I've nearly. Our
a barrister?
president, Declan Flynn, is the managing director of Lisney.
No, that's not good enough. It has to be a bank manager or an estate agent or a solicitor or a lawyer or a barrister.
No.
Have you got any of those?
No.
What kind of a Lions Club is that?
So there you are. That's the way it is.
What kind of people
Listen,
are you?
anyway, they're all gaining up on me.
Yes.
And I'm the one that looks like going into the pool of water. And I need somebody to keep voting and get our Declan Flynn, our president, into the water.
Oh, so they're talking about throwing you in the water.
Yes. I'll read you. It's all to do with we're trying to help Aware, a charity dedicated to helping defeat depression. And it's estimated that 1 out of every 4 people in Northern Ireland will suffer depression at some time.
That's right.
So it's just a bit of fun. There's a big tank of water, about 7 foot deep, and somebody's to go in their dinner suit, diggy bow, the whole of works.
They used to do that with witches, you know.
Well, there you are. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are witches.
Well, you see, what they used to do, they used to dunk a witch and put her under water, and they put her in a barrel.
Uh-huh.
And if the barrel didn't come up, it means that she was innocent. But if she came up, it meant she was a witch. In other words, no matter what happened, she was hammered. So if you don't come up again, you're not a wizard. So you want to avoid this fate.
I want to avoid this fate.
Now, how can this fate be avoided?
And listen, I've come to no better man than yourself.
Indeed, I can help you.
Will you help me?
Yes, what do I have to do?
So what you've got to do is you've got to get your listeners to vote for Declan Flynn, our president.
Yes.
Votes are normally £1 each, but for your listeners, we'll make them free.
Right.
And if they were to ring the Denadry, 02894
Uh-huh.
43 43 43
Right.
and vote for Declan Flynn,
Okay.
that means that our president could go in the water instead of me.
Well, we have to pull out all the stops to make sure
Yes.
that he is underneath that water instead
Yes.
of you. What's that number again?
That is 02894
Yes.
43 43 43.
And
And
ask to vote for
Declan Flynn,
Declan Flynn.
who's our president.
Right, which is you.
As I say, we'll have this big dinner on our May ball, and if people still want to come, of course, they'd be very welcome. It's £50 a ticket.
Woohoo!
And it all goes to help the Aware charity.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you very much for your kindness.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. For my kindness?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Mr. Johnson rings in to it says, would you ask Gerry to say the following words?
Yes.
Train, gain, pain, and rain. He says them differently from other normal people.
Train, gain, rain, and?
Train, gain, pain, and rain.
Train, gain, pain, and rain. See, people say train, gain, pain, and rain. Our weather forecasters always say rain.
Train,
Yeah, train,
gain,
gain,
pain,
as in
and
two
rain.
syllables, yeah. A lot of people in Belfast pronounce those words with two syllables. We, in Derry, Stoke, London, Derry, do you know the way we say kiar?
Yes.
Car. There's two syllables in that, kiar. See, everybody else says car. We say kiar. Have you got that kiar? You see?
Sure.
Well, people in Belfast say train and rain.
They do not.
Yeah, they say rain.
In Belfast,
Rain.
they say train.
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 Yeah, no, not like that, no.
What's it? Train.
Train.
Going to get the train.
Train. Not like that, no.
Well,
But
I'm trying
in
to do it.
Dublin,
I'm-
people in Dublin do say, get the train, Jesus. Hey, the rain's coming now. The train. They'll be saying that, the Queen is coming. Their train is behind her. Hi, Gerry. After a skinny dipping in an ice-cold creek, I feel as bright and bushy-tailed as a hornet's nest in a hollow log. Like two dogs returning to their own vomit, Sinn Féin and the DUP will have another go at education and finance. This time Sinn Féin have a cunning plan. The 11 plus will be run like a driving test. When a child thinks they are ready, they send in an application and receive a date on which to sit the test. If the child should fail, they just reapply until they pass. Sammy Wilson is still holding on to Ulster's purse strings like a bulldog with a bone. David Ford is once again the sheriff of Deadwood City. Tom Elliott, or Jumpin' Jack Flash, has put a cousin of JFK, Danny Kennedy, into regional development. Tom Elliott assured the House, "You ain't seen nothing yet." As the meeting came to an end, Margaret Ritchie of the DLP said, "What a bite, woman!" Margaret was handed a pair of knitting needles and a ball of wool. "I don't want that." "You better take it." There is Martina Purdy saying, "Gee, I love you guys. You're so weird. You're all weird, you guys. Hey, what about the Ministry of Development? Hey. Ooh. I'm not myself today.
No, Janet said that. Janet says you're not well.
I'm not well. You don't believe me when I tell you.
Janet says you were walking with a limp.
I know, as well. I don't even know where that came from.
Build a place called Camelot, and we were the wide-eyed innocent. Till somebody had him shot.
Ooh.
He's been long gone, too long gone. You know his name, now he's riding on the bullet train. I have a dream, said the black man, when we'll all study war no more. Equality, he said, for everyone here. Then they shot him on the second floor. He's been long gone, too long gone. You know his name, now he's riding on the bullet train. 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 He bought her a gun for protection. She kept it on the closet shelf. That little child found it one fateful day. No, he never meant to kill himself. He's been long gone, too long gone. Now throw the bloody guns away. Ooh, long gone, too long gone, and we're all to blame. We gotta stop the bullet train, riding on 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 the bullet
Oh, it's a song I like very much indeed. I play that quite often. I love that kind of straightforward rock and roll. Do you know who my favourite group is? And I hesitate to say this when anybody asks me. Do you know that kind of rock and roll, that kind of driving, simple rock and roll, which is very difficult to play? That's a very good example of it. That's Bullet Train by a band called The Lost Dogs. If anybody ever said to me, what's your favourite type of music? I always say that kind of driving, steady rock and roll. I find that very exciting. And they say, who do you think is the best at that? Do you know what I always say? But I always think before I say it. I always say status quo.
Yeah, hear me saying status quo.
Now you ruin everything.
Yeah.
Status quo.
Status
Do you know my
quo.
favourite piece of music is? You know at the end of Rockin' All Over the World?
Yeah.
Remember when they go do 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 do. See that goes on forever at the end. I get so excited.
Oh, God love you.
A number of people, a small amount of people, are complaining that I told that story before.
Yes.
About the Queen, but I justified telling the story before I tell. Didn't I preface the story by saying that I know I've told the story before, but I think it's important that I do tell the story because, after all, this is the first time the Queen has ever come to the Republic of Ireland.
I
Ever.
remember listening to you in the way back in the early days
And
when
I
you
was
were on
telling that
Radio
story
Foil.
then.
No, Radio Foil, and you were playing "I Want to Break Free" by Queen.
Want to
And
break
the only
free.
part of the song you played was the guitar solo.
Oh, that was the only thing that was worth
That's right.
while, yeah.
And you ignored. You turned down the rest of the
No,
song.
you have to-
That's right.
That's the only part that was any
And they
good.
turned it up again.
I think people should just play the wee bits. They're good. Right. Here's the news coming. Janet, oh, God love her, she's laughing.
On 92 to 95 FM,
and 1341 medium wave.
this is BBC Radio Ulster.
And with the BBC News at 11 o'clock, this is Keith Burnside. The Queen is due to land at Baldonnel Airport near Dublin within the next hour. Her Majesty's 4-day state visit to the Republic is the first by a reigning monarch in the state's history. Last night, the Irish Army dealt with a pipe bomb that was discovered in County Kildare. Shane Harrison reports from Dublin.
The Queen and Prince Philip are due to touch down at 10 to midday, not far from Maynooth in County Kildare, where a suspect device was found on a bus last night near a hotel. Gardaí say it was viable but not primed and designed to cause disruption rather than injury. The Queen will be met at Baldonnel Airport by the Tánaiste or Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs Eamon Gilmore. She and the Duke of Edinburgh will then travel to Orbison for a meeting with President McAleese and her husband Martin. This afternoon, the Queen will lay a wreath at the Garden of Remembrance, which commemorates those who died in the struggle for Irish independence.
The Victoria Square shopping centre in Belfast has been evacuated due to a bomb alert. It follows reports of a suspicious device being left in the city centre complex. The Assembly's new health minister says he cannot guarantee that the radiotherapy unit at Alton Hospital in Londonderry will go ahead. The DUP's Edwin Poots is due to visit the hospital today. He says he will make a decision soon, but a number of factors have to be considered. There's been a sharp rise in the rate of inflation. It reached its highest level for 2.5 years in April. The Consumer Prices Index rose to 4.5% after a surprise drop to 4% the month before. The Retail Prices Index, which includes housing costs, fell slightly to 5.2%. Fife police say a suspect package sent to the former vice-chairman of Rangers Football Club contained a knife. The package was opened by bomb disposal experts after it was collected by staff at Cowdenbeath Football Club. Now, more sports news. Here's Paul Gilmore.
Nigel Worthington has named an inexperienced squad for the Curling Nations Cup doubleheader against the Republic of Ireland and Wales in Dublin next week. Ipswich winger Josh Carson is one of 3 players called up for the first time, along with Crusaders duo Stuart Dallas and Jordan Owens. As expected, there is no place for David Healy. Tonight, Manchester City can go third in the Premier League with victory against Stoke. Ulster's Johan Muller has signed a 1-year contract extension. The deal keeps the South African at Ravenhill until 2013. And Ryan Farquhar's preparations for the North West have been disrupted after the arrival of an engine was delayed. It means Farquhar will compete in Saturday's Superbike race on a Superstock bike.
Sunny spells are forecast this afternoon, but what of the rest of the day? Laura Lewington.
A cloudy start to the day with some light rain earlier on, but throughout the afternoon we should start to see the odd glimmer of sunshine. Those temperatures unimpressive though, only up to about 16 degrees Celsius, that's 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Come tonight, some rain is going to be spreading in, increasingly strong winds as well, and temperatures down to 8 degrees Celsius, that's 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news. This evening, practice sessions for the North West 200 are expected to take place. As a result, all circuit roads around Portrush, Portstewart and Coleraine will be closed from 5 p.m. until 9:30 tonight. And on Thursday, the roads will be closed for more practice sessions from 9:30 a.m. until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Also, for those planning to head to the North West 200, Translink will be running extra train services on Saturday morning. That's from Great Victoria Street to Portrush between 8 o'clock and 10:30, and you can find out more by logging on to the Translink website. Anne Jordan reporting. Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
Talkback with Wendy Austin's on at 12. That's the time the Queen's due to touch down in the Irish Republic. She'll be paying tribute to those who fought and died for Britain and against British rule. Why did it take so long for her to come? Between bombs, bomb scares and the huge security costs, is it worth it? Are you pleased she's there? It's your programme. Call me on 08459 555 678. We'll be live with the Queen and our reporters in Dublin. And also today, what's happening in the SDLP? They had a big row in their offices in Stormont yesterday, apparently over who got their ministerial appointment. Are they in meltdown? We'll find out, and you can join the debate on Talkback at 12.
Big day for Wendy today, Queen's visit. We should reflect upon the significance of this visit, and some of our fine Ulster citizens aren't a bit happy about it. They weren't happy about it talking to Mr. Crawley this morning. He was very upset. Let's lean back and just reflect. You know, I think we don't reflect often enough. We don't give ourselves time to analyse what's happening around us. That's wrong, Sean. Too many hot-headed people. What we need is a little reflection. A little time to sit back, relax, pour yourself a large whiskey and say hello to Sylvia from Moran Point and say what a marvellous day this is. I'd like to say hello to Geraldine from Banbridge. She's a mother of 14. She's 21 years old. My, you have been busy. A little Bach, I think, followed by a little Beethoven and then Bach to Bach again. You know, people think this programme is ill thought out and barely planned. Just let me say this. I've been up all night working at this running order because today is a special day. You know, Sean, I was just thinking the other day, I was walking through a meadow and I looked and saw the little buds of spring and I said to myself, it's good to be alive. You know, a lot of people working on a daily, people working in factories, people working in call centres. They never see the wonders of nature. I said to myself, how lucky I am. And then I saw a man in the distance looking in to someone's television through their window. And I said, hello, Sean.
I would love to be a monk.
I'd like to be a monkey. Then you can do whatever you want. This, of course, is me. Sheep may safely graze and fair de lys by Bach and Beethoven, respectively. I think think all too often we're overcome with the pressures of life. We get into our cars, we switch on our ignition, put on our radio, close our windows, and are oblivious in a little concrete world that's outside. And there we are, stuck in our little steel cubicle. What do we know about how ordinary people feel?
Tugboat coming, steamship coming, the pilot's in the wheelhouse humming. He married the daughter of a noble proctor. He's looking out and all his Hudson water sees them come from their bog roads, come in their coffin loads to work the big machine. In the land of dreams, well, the docks are crowded, hot and loud. He'd drown them all if the laws allowed it, but the Constitution is no solution. It just allows this vile pollution. Well, he don't mind the Dutchman, the Swedes or the Prussians, the Belgians or the Brits. Wouldn't give those Irishmen his spit. So pull a ladder up, boy. Well, it's 1950 in some English city. Brill cream boys and all the girls are so pretty, and hands like shovels on the double, digging through the empire's rubble. But they've got unclean habits, and they breed just like rabbits. They're a burden on the state, but they all think Mr. Bevan is great. There are poor relations left their fledgling nation to come here and blow up all of our railway stations. Shadowy figures in pubs and diggers They load the guns and they pull the triggers. Give me fine bone china with Elizabeth Regina, and the next Inspector Morse. How could they do that to a horse? They're all sons of bitches with their fuses and their switches and their ancient bloody hurt. Well, we all hurt Paddy for what it's worth. So pull a ladder up, boy. The world is full of causes, and all they're gonna get you is some bleeding heart applause. Pull a ladder up, boys. Leave them to their notion. They might as well be out there trying to dig holes in the ocean. So pull the ladder up, boy. There's a tugboat coming, steamship coming, pilots in the wheelhouse hum.
What a great song. That's from an album called Telegraph. That's Kevin Doherty, of course. That's a song called Tugboat. And before that was a little Bach, a little Beethoven, Sheep May Safely Graze, and Fleur de Lys. You see, it's not all Daniel O'Donnell here. It's not all Daniel O'Donnell here.
Happy birthday.
How you doing?
Happy
How you doing?
Happy birthday to you.
I was practicing
Jeffrey
that last night. I was practicing that last night. How Hugo says, "How you doing?"
I'll just ignore that.
Here's it. How you doing? That's it. The doing's the thing. The doing's the question. How you doing? Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
Happy 50th birthday to Jeffrey McMullen of Banbridge. This is from all the barn door truckers. There's a call for you and what?
Thanks for interrupting me for that. It was important, I know. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes. Who's this? I wonder.
Gerry, this is Al Dixon here.
Yes.
Gerry, I'm interested if anybody could tell me the origin of initials. They're on a set of table knives, bone-handled table knives.
Yes.
The initials are BRUFSC. They came into my father's possession in the late 40s. He worked at that stage in a place called Benvarden. It was a big estate, and I think the man owned it was a Captain Rhodes or a JP and all that type of thing, you know. And it's now a residential home of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I checked with the Donegal Library a couple of years ago, and that's how the connection made or something to do there. But I can never find out the origin of those initials. Was it family, or was it regimental, or what?
I'll just make a guess at that.
Pardon?
I'll make a guess at that. BRUFCS.
BRU, F for Freddy, SC.
What about British Railway Utilities, Forks, Spoons and Ceramics?
What about Banbridge, Royal Ulster Football and Snooker Club?
Ah.
I'll keep Dennis Taylor out of this now.
No, I just threw that.
Did you make that up?
Yeah.
Banbridge, Rugby, Union, Football and Social Club.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's a good guess. Mine was British Railway Utilities, Forks, Spoons and Ceramics.
Yeah. Well, British Railways were in Northern Ireland now.
Of course. Excuse me.
Banbridge.
Banbridge, Rugby Union, Football and Social Club.
I knew you'd regret this.
No. Let's take this seriously, Sean.
Yes.
Because whenever a man gives us initials like that, our imagination goes wild here. So what else do you know about this?
That's as much as I can tell you. And as I say, Donegal Library people were very helpful a couple of years ago. They thought of me connected with Ben Varden Estate,
Okay.
where my father worked at that time. But
All
he's
right,
long gone, so...
Yeah, what did he do there?
It looks as if there'd be a very high-class quality of stuff, you know, and they've laid out at dignitaries' table, you know.
Yes. What did your father do in the Ben Varden estate?
He was in the gardening end.
Right.
Lovely, yeah.
Ben Varden, Royal Ulster.
Stop.
What?
There's only shots in the dark here. We're just working out here. Don't mind that. We want some serious guesswork here.
Ben Varden, Royal Ulster.
No, it doesn't do that. BRUFSC.
Yes, Ben Varden.
And this is on the fork.
Fort fertilizer.
Pardon?
Forestry.
Donegal Library people hinted it could be regimental of some sort.
It could well be.
Forestry. Royal Forestry.
No. We don't know. You can't guess that kind of thing. That's like EPNS. You see EPNS in a spoon. Electric.
Sure, somebody out there may hear it and may, you know.
Yes. Indeed, okay. So anyway, put the call out. Anybody who knows what those initials mean, BRUFSC.
Yes.
Give us a ring here at
On
0845.
bone-handled knives possibly came from that estate I was telling you about.
Okay, well, obviously it's Ben Varden, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's why I
okay.
gave you a ring.
All right. Anyone out there knows anything about that? Maybe someone who's got an interest in that kind of thing. Give us a ring at 08459 555 678 and we'll let you know. Okay.
Have you been talking to Brian Gallagher lately?
No, not recently. No, how is he? Is he okay?
As far as I know, he's doing okay now. There was an article about him in the local paper here a couple of weeks back.
He's a very funny
He
guy.
seems to be keeping the head above the water anyway. So.
He doesn't be on the radio so much.
No, he doesn't mean so much now.
He used to be on with John Peel every morning.
That's
in,
right.
Home
on Sunday
Truths.
Miscellany on RT Radio 1 there on a Sunday morning.
That's right. He mustn't do that anymore. They probably get fed up with you after a while, you know. That's what happens to me. And I did a programme with him one time and I really enjoyed it. It was called
about
The Last Saxophone in Ireland.
That's the time you were about Canole.
That's right, yeah. With Joe, well, who's the other fella? John
McManus.
Aye. And I've got John is the fella who lilts on a piece of music that I played yesterday. Right. Isn't that a coincidence? Have you ever heard that?
No, I haven't. I missed your show yesterday now.
Would you hear this? This is a... You know, John McManus had two sons who were very excellent musicians, or maybe he had three, I'm not quite sure. But he had two.
I don't know whether or not.
And they were in a band called Celtus, and they were first of all, they had a band called Mama's Boys, and then they got fed up with that. I remember.
Was that before the Starlight or after the Starlight?
Oh, no, after. These are John's sons.
Right,
and,
right.
So I remember I used to come across them. I was in a rock band called Toe Jam, and we used to play the same gigs, the same festivals, that kind of thing, called Mama's Boys. And I think they gained some notoriety. I think one of them was kidnapped or something one stage, or something weird happened to them by the provost. I don't know what it was. Anyway, but they went on and they formed this group, and they did a lot of kind of electronic Irish music, and they called themselves Celtus. And they've got an album called What Goes Around. Somebody asked me about that the other day. So what they did was, John, the father, was a great lilter.
Yes.
So what they did was they had this track and they got him to lilt on it. And I have it here. Do you want me to play it for you?
Well, sure, when you get a chance.
He doesn't care if I play it or not. No. I'll play it for you because I really want to hear it myself. I played it the other day. Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. He didn't care if I played that or not.
He did not.
He didn't give
two. John's on two.
Not two hits he gave.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
What about your training?
My training, I'll tell you. I'll be honest.
The reason I asked is you've got an awful gut on you this morning.
That's because I'm not well. My stomach has expanded. Yeah. Now I give myself a couple of weeks off.
You can't afford to give yourself.
Yes, I can. I have an appointment with my first appointment with my trainer is this Thursday, which is why I'm trying to get well. And it starts.
Is this when it starts? Now?
It starts this Thursday.
This weekend.
Yeah. And I'll be talking more about that whole procedure next week because I'm going to ask the people to back me.
What, sponsor you?
That's the word. I'm going to ask the people to do that.
Okay.
All arrangements are not yet in place.
Right.
You may be involved. You may have to compare one of my concerts. I'm not sure if you can do that.
Oh, I'll do that gladly.
You refused the last time.
Because you said you didn't want me.
Yeah, but that shouldn't put you off. Why would that put you off?
What about John?
What about him?
He's waiting for you.
Oh, is he? Where is he?
He's on two.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even know he was there. Good morning, John.
Hello, Gerry. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What does EPNS mean on the spoon?
Electroplated...
Come on, keep going.
Something silver.
Nickel steel.
Nickel steel.
Electroplated nickel steel. Not a lot of people know that. Yeah. Anyway, we're just talking about BRUFSC, and I had to put my EPNS. Do you remember years ago, the Goons? Remember the Goons? They had a record called Fred Spoons and his EPNS. I don't know why that came into my mind. It's because I'm sick. Anyway, hello, good morning.
I was thinking about you the other.
No, please don't do that. Every time you think about me, I get sick.
I was down in the bus station and I was thinking about you.
What were you doing in the bus station?
Getting a bus to Belfast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was for our outside broadcast last week.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you were just hanging around,
No, I thought...
Well, what did you think about me?
I thought about you as a wee boy.
Yes.
When you played in the bus shelters and in and out of the buses.
Yes.
And I remember you talking fondly about the machine that they had in the bus depot, where you could print your name on a strip of metal,
and then you put it on your bicycle.
There was a big like alphabet, a big circular, the alphabet, and you pointed the arrow.
There's a big iron arrow, and you point it, and then you pulled a leader like a slot machine in Las Vegas.
Yes.
That punched the letter, and then you got it out. It was a little strip of metal, and you put that in your bicycle.
Yeah. Was that what it was for? Was your bicycle your tool? Wasn't your bicycle? You put it in your toolbox.
Your toolbox.
Yes.
If you ever had one. I never had it. Did you have a toolbox?
No.
What are you talking about toolbox then? You'd have had a toolbox your life. You put it on your... your jumper?
What do we put it on?
You put it on your bicycle.
You
put it on...
Why would you put it on your bicycle?
It's when you had a Tommy gun. Just before the trouble. Do you remember people used to have toy guns? You put it on that.
You did not. What did we want that for?
I wanted it for my bicycle.
Did you?
I did it.
Well, where did you put it on your bicycle?
I can't remember now.
You didn't put it on your bicycle.
I did put it on my bicycle.
My name was on it. The handlebars?
No, the name. One of the bars down below. I put down the slanty bar that goes down. I put it on that.
And how did you put it on?
I don't remember. I probably used glue or something. And it was your name on it.
We had no glue in those days.
We had no glue in those days? Yes, we had.
No, we hadn't.
We had.
We tied things on. We had no glue. No such thing as glue.
I was glue in our house.
It wasn't.
You were underprivileged. We had glue that came out of a thing, and it was always...
You come out of a bottle, a big triangular bottle.
That's it, and it stuck it all good hard at the top.
And that was only for paper.
I know, but you could use it. You could sneak... What am I doing talking about this? Hello, good morning.
Hello, mate.
What were we talking about?
Well, I hadn't started yet. You just went on a tangent there.
I'm sorry, I'm back again now.
You being a man who's travelled most continents...
Indeed.
...would know more about women than most.
Well, I suppose I would.
Well, you would. You would know more than me, anyway. Well, as you'll probably be aware, that when a woman gets something into her head that she wants, there's not much talking her down.
That's it.
Right, so you sort of go out on a limb to try and...
you have to get it for her.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
So what I'm looking for is... they are like... pillars to the front of your house, only the full length of your front door, plastic, like column type things that go under your sort of roof.
Yes, I see that.
One each side of the front door. You probably know what I mean.
Yeah.
I've done all the search engines as you usually would, but there's a company in England does produce them. but they're looking 2 arms and half a leg.
Oh yeah, for the plastic ones.
Plastic ones, yeah.
Why don't you get real? Why don't you get real ones? Push the boat out. Get stone ones.
Well, if they were to fall over, they'd maybe kill one of my kids, And
oh well, I suppose that's right. But if you got them on right, you see, it's just like your house. You know what I mean? I mean, can I ask you this now? I need to be very careful what I say. Is it a council house?
No.
Well, that's okay, because a lot of people in council houses, they get those big pillars, and I think it's a nod towards greatness that I think they should resist.
Oh no, the wife, she wants new steps and things put either side of it. So
no, there's nothing wrong with being in a council house, but I think anyone who lives in a council house and they put pillars in their front gate, it's a wee bit ambitious. I think it says something about you that is rather not said.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if you could sort of any company in sort of the north of Ireland that produces or sells these things, if you could.
Okay.
Sort of
all right then.
Give me a number and I'll ring them.
You don't want a stonemason. You don't want the stone things.
Well, if that's the way to go, that's the way to go.
Well, I would suggest it.
Get them either way.
Yeah, but I mean, if you get them done right, they're not going to fall over. If you get them done right, get them done properly. What?
We have a telephone number for them.
Oh, there we are already.
How quick's that?
Right. Are you ready?
But you have to ask yourself, is he telling the truth?
No, a man phoned in, and this man was very busy because he told me the name of the firm, and I'm sorry, but I didn't hear the name of the firm because his other phones were ringing in the background, and he was trying to talk to me.
Obviously a busy man, but you can always trust a busy man.
So the busy man said, ring this number and ask for John.
Okay, well, give him the number there. You've got a pen there, sir? You've got a pen
go
there?
ahead.
0288 77
Yep.
59773.
773. That's super.
And they make those pillars or something. They said,
that's wonderful. How quick was that?
Ask for John.
Okay, there you go.
Wonderful.
That's you sorted.
There you go, Gerry.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much, mate. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Leah is on one.
Leah as in female?
Isn't that nice, Leah? Do you remember, hadn't Roy Orbison a song called Leah?
No.
Leah. He had. About the guy diving for pearls and he gets trapped underwater or something. Leah. Isn't it? Isn't there? No? You're not interested, are you? No. I don't understand your dislike of Roy Orbison. I really can't. When some of the greats in music thought he was the bee's knees and you have no time for him at all.
Well, there's a couple of reasons for that.
Bob Dylan liked him. And
I just can't help it. Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the main
don't be hurtful to the man.
I'm not being hurtful to the man.
All right.
Well, a couple of reasons for that. One of the first bands I was in, we had to rehearse a Roy Orbison number called Running Scared.
Yeah.
And I hated that with every passion of my being.
That's okay.
And running scared. And I really hated it. I really, really hated it. And then later on, as time marched on, I got to know the fellow who produced Roy Orbison, a fellow called Fred, what's his name? Fred Foster, who co-wrote me and Bobby McGee, Busted Flat and Bite and Reeves, Heading for a Train. Well, he was a recording engineer first with a record company called Monument Records.
I know a girl who lives in Baton Rouge.
That's good, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he was he produced his early records. He discovered him, and he discovered that when he couldn't sing if anybody was looking at him. So when Roy Orbison went into the studio, he couldn't sing, and they couldn't figure out why he couldn't sing. And then he realised what it was. So we put him into a partition and put coats over him and everything, so that nobody could look in. And he had a very thin voice, because I remember a band called the Freshmen. Derek Dean it was. Derek Dean from Strabane, well-known singer-songwriter. Remember, he appeared with Roy Orbison one time, and he was very annoyed because when he was in the band, he was the lead singer. They made him sing all these Roy Orbison songs, so nobody could sing Roy Orbison songs at all, and he couldn't do it. And he said he sang all these songs and he hated them. I hated them too. But then when he appeared in the same bill as Roy Orbison, he realised that Roy Orbison couldn't sing them either.
Well, where do you arrive at this? I mean, Roy Orbison sings. You see these concerts and they're recorded, you know. And,
no, Roy Orbison had a recording voice. He didn't
Bruce Springsteen. No, that black and white series that was on television there not so long ago has been on several times.
He had a very thin voice.
There he is. There's a man singing live with all these heads backing him, and they all thought he was the bee's knees.
I know.
Only you.
Only. Isn't that great? That's that's Celtus, Celtus, and that's called Jigsaw from an album called What Comes Around. Quite hard to get that, I think. Leah, is it Leah? Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Leah. Sorry for keeping you.
That's okay. Gerry, we have some hymn books in our possession. They're called Alexander No. 3 hymn book, and we have 90 of them. We also have 60 junior praise hymn books.
Yes.
And we no longer use them or need them, but we would be willing to give these away to like a house group or a Sunday school or such like a gospel outreach or whatever who could use them.
Okay. Well, what are they again? Just
they're a small hymn book. They're called Alexander No. 3. And they would be, well, more for an adult group, but I mean, children could use them as well. But the other ones are junior praise, and they are of like a modern. Anybody who's gospel minded would know them. A junior praise hymn book.
All right then. Okay, so you're prepared to give those to anyone who can find a use for them?
We're willing to give them away to anyone who could give them a good home, as the saying goes.
No, books need a home too, you're absolutely right. All right then, anyone's interested in that, we'll give them a ring. Please give us a ring, 08459 555 678, and if we get any replies or any interest, we'll let you know.
Right, that's lovely.
All right, love, no problem.
Right, thank you very much. And just as before I go, you were talking about Roy Orbison and singing Leah. Yes, he did. And my husband is a great fan of Roy Orbison. Yeah. So I'm sorry to disappoint.
That's all right. No, it's okay. There's no reason at all why your husband can't be a big fan. I can't be bothered with him. Not your husband, Roy Orbison. Okay.
Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
You say now.
You say he did record Leah.
Yeah, right.
There's Anne. This is an awkward one. Anne's on 2.
Hello, Anne.
Hello, Gerry.
How awkward is this?
Well, what it is, my husband, or not my husband, my son's very bad with gout in his big toe.
Yes.
And I think a long time ago you gave out a cure for gout. You know, somebody rang in with a cure. So what I'm wanting to know, would you ask the listeners again if anybody would have a cure for gout?
What age is your son?
He's 42.
42? Well, you know, it's kind of young to have gout, isn't it?
Mr.
Cole, you're the oracle. I'll ask. Do you have any recollection of gout cures?
No, I'm not a gout man.
You're a gin man.
My joints are fine.
I know. I smoke them often. They're grand. So gout in his big toe.
Yes.
Very, very painful. We know that.
I would imagine it would be.
Yeah. It's very painful.
Can't have that kind of thing about you. You know, I can't believe how fortunate I am. There's nothing wrong with me. You know, I shouldn't say that. I know.
Well, there is something wrong with you, but you don't know what it is.
I know, but that's psychological.
Yeah.
All right, then. We'll try and get your son's big toe back to normal.
Okay, that's great.
So anyone out there, I don't recall. I do recall some conversation like that. Yeah. And okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
If we find anybody else, we'll let you know.
All right, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you for these riveting calls, Sean, about gout and hymn books.
Listen, if you were sitting with your big toe stuck in the air, you want someone to help you.
Great show yesterday, kid. A great show that proved beyond all reasonable doubt that if you multiply the square root of the hydrogenous by 11.5, add 5, divide by 1, multiply by 2, divide by 1 again, stir in a little Bisto, and leave to settle overnight at room temperature, the answer is always the same. A cable-stitched mauve cardigan with one sleeve longer than the other. Once upon a time, only 3 people in the world could solve Fermat's lost theorem. The 3 were Professor Max Schneider from Switzerland, myself, and Tommy, my cat. Now, thanks to the calculator, the very dogs in the street can work it out and talk of little else. I looked at Tommy. plucking his lute in a darkened recess of the room, and I said, "Why has every cat got a mysterious 'I'm better than you' look on its face? Every cat looks as if they're superior to all the beings around them, because cats are better than anyone else," replied Tommy. "Can you see in the dark? Can you fall from a great height and land on your feet? Have you the patience to crouch for 7 hours by a mouse hole? Would you play with a mouse for 2 days?" "No," said Tommy. "Beware the cat. The cat is a creature of the night. I can read your soul and see every sin in your old black soul." I pondered furiously at my IKEA catalogue and said, "There's something you can do that I can do even better. I can sit with my leg in the air and lick my—" "No!" As he put on scarf, gloves and padded parka and went out to face the horrors of an Ulster summer. "My thumb," I yelled. "I can sit with my leg in the air and lick my thumb." Too late. Tommy was gone. Instead of worrying about it, I conjured up an imaginary enemy and was soon rolling about the floor in an imaginary fight to the death. Who won? I hear you ask. I'll give you a clue. It was me. I won.
And not there.
Any more calls about gout or hymn books?
Well, there's a man waiting to talk to you on one.
What's it about?
I'm not sure. Janet's dealing with the calls today.
Door wedges?
I'm not quite sure.
I can't wait. Maybe about iron filings?
Whitty, you're in pain. Whitty, you're in pain.
I am in pain.
Yeah.
Psychologically.
I'm going down to the Greyhound station. Gonna get a ticket to ride. Gonna find that lady with 2 or 3 kids and sit down by her side. Ride till the sun comes up and down around me about 2 or 3 times. Smoking cigarettes in the last seat. Try to hide myself from the people I meet and get along with it all. Go down where people say, oh, sing a song with a friend. Change the shape of a man and get back in the game. Start playing again. I'd like to stay, but I might have to go to start over again. Might go back down to Texas. I might go to somewhere I never been. And get up in the morning, go out at night, and I won't have to go home. Get used to being alone. Change the words to the song. Start singing again. I'm tired of running around looking for answers to questions that I already know. I could build me a castle of memories just to have somewhere to go. Count the days and the nights that it takes to get back in the saddle again. Feed the pigeons some clay. Turn the night into day. Start talking again when I know what to say. I'm going down to the Greyhound station. Gonna get a ticket to ride. Gonna find that lady with 2 or 3 kids and sit down by her side. Ride till the sun comes up and down around me about 2 or 3 times. Smoking cigarettes in the last seat. Try to hide my sorrow from the people I meet and get along with it all. Go down where people say, oh, feed the pigeons some clay. Turn the night into day. Start talking again when I know what to say.
Oh, that's a nice little song. That's Blaze Foley, B-L-A-Z-E. It does what it says in the tin. Foley, F-O-L-E-Y. That's from an album called Live at the Austin Outhouse. a song called Clay Pigeons. Well, here's a night not to miss. Friday the 27th of May, and not this Friday, but the Friday after that at the Botanic Inn. I want to publicise this in association with the Oh Yeah Centre. It's Terry Hooley's Summer Sound Splash with cashier number 9. All kinds of people. There's 2 floors going to be taken up. Live music from cashier number 9. Great band. They've been on this programme live. DJ sets from Terry Hooley, Joe Lindsay, Stuart Bailey, Charlotte Dryden and Davy Matchett, plus special guests TBA. I love TBA. They're brilliant. To be arranged.
Oh, you didn't have to tell me.
8 p.m, £5 at the door. Don't miss that. As a gentleman said, I'm going to a fancy dress party as a sweet shop owner. I just tried on my outfit and my wife said, give us a twirl. And I said, that really works. Gerry, I hope you're keeping well. Just a wee note. I was talking to a very interesting guy the other day who knew you. This guy has travelled the world building stages for some very well-known rock stars. Rod Stewart, Bruce Springsteen, etc. My radio was on. He said, you listen to Gerry Anderson. I replied, well, only the best will do for me. This man told me about meeting you with his dog in Donegal. He mentioned that you had the same dog, and a conversation took place. Anyway, we had a lot in common. We both liked you. I get browned off when every radio station in Northern Ireland says that their listening figures are up. Is there some person going around counting who's listening to what station? As a matter of fact, there is. But we never believe him. You're looking great on TV over the... I added to spit myself. You're looking great on TV over the last few weeks. My wife said, you're really fresh looking. Gerry, keep her lit, if I may quote Barry McElduff. Did you ever see anything like that? Everybody's talking about Barry McElduff saying, keep her lit. What kind of a country is this?
Stop it.
I mean, what is going on here? What is wrong with these people?
I have given up, honestly, given up.
Listen, can I ask you something? Is the Queen interfering with you today?
Yes, she is.
In what way?
Indeed. I'm put back until 4 o'clock.
Oh, your normal
I'm sandwiched between the Queen and Seamus McKee.
Well made, Janet, chuckle. So you normally, your wee programme on Radio 4 is usually on at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
And it's not on at 3 o'clock today for the benefit of the listener who will miss it.
Yes.
You're on at 4, is that it?
Yes.
And I suppose the same will apply to Hugo. No, he'll be finished at 3. Oh, Simpson's probably an hour late as well. Yeah. There's special coverage of the Queen's visit today. And what about tomorrow as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but not
tomorrow as well?
Not Thursday.
Not Thursday.
Then it changes on Friday.
Changes on Friday.
Whatever it's all about.
I just want to get that straight. It's
important.
Important that the people know.
I know. No, don't go there. There's a man with me.
We are Siamese, if you please.
We are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please. Now we looking up.
That's the way I tell them.
If we like, we stay for maybe quite a while.
Look at the muck in her.
Do you seeing that thing swimming round and round? Yes. Maybe we could reaching in and make it drown. If we sneaking up upon it carefully, there will be a head for you, a tail for me. Do you hear what I hear? A baby cry. Where we finding baby, there are milk nearby. If we look in baby buggy, there could be plenty milk for you and also some for me.
That's good, wasn't it?
That was lovely.
I thought that was really nice. Someone on the phone here,
There's a man on one, yes.
Hello, good morning, sir. Sorry to keep you.
Hello, Gerry.
Oh, Geordie, hello.
I want to tell you why I didn't get the Balmore show.
Okay.
There's 3 lovely ladies called away from County Fermanagh.
Well, you tried to tell me that the other day, but you didn't seem capable of telling me. But now that you're in better form, maybe you could perhaps explain the circumstances of your absence.
I want to get up and get out and leave them, you know.
Of course not.
It's a long old journey from County Fermanagh.
Exactly. You can't expect these people to travel all the way from County Fermanagh and then just get up and say, by the way, I have to go.
Well, that's right.
Absolutely.
But I'm all set for the bus trip.
Well, you see, we haven't settled a date for this, and it may be, you just don't know if we're going to do it. It may be something we do later, maybe next year.
Oh no!
Well, you see, it's all.
I could be dead next year.
And no, I don't think so. I think you're going to hang on by your fingertips.
And me went into the war in one shop and got lovely trousers.
Such expense.
And
no,
shirt.
One of the things I have
and lovely pullover.
Well, one of the things that we did talk about was having a bus run through the streets of Derry, Londonderry, for the benefit of people who'd never been here, and I would show you all the places where I was born. So, but we're going to do that in as a nod towards the City of Culture 2013. So it may be a little premature to do it this year. We may do it next year. I don't know yet. We have to sit down, and my people will talk to their people, and we'll decide what's the best time to do it. But don't I was going to say, don't cross your legs. Don't anticipate it too quickly.
But Sean was right in one thing.
In one way? What was that?
He said a pheasant was going, and then all the wee chicks fell into a hole.
The pheasants. Right? The pheasants.
Oh, yes. I see. So that happened. So somebody claimed that the pheasants actually can bury their chicks alive. Is that to protect them from...
Yes, she hid them.
Protect them from predators?
There must have been a sparrowhawk about or a buzzard or something.
Well, how do the wee chicks survive underground?
Oh, they survive all right. They put the wee beaks up.
They put their beaks up. So, in other words, the aerial predators do not see the chicks which are buried underneath a bit of a sod there.
Sean Coyle was right.
And that was me was right.
Was
it not me was right?
No, I think it was me. I'm claiming this one. Right. Thank you, Geordie.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, Geordie, I thought it was very unusual that you missed the Balmoral show. It wasn't the same without you.
Well, it was quite. It was ladies coming.
You didn't get to there any of the days at all.
And one of them is a granddaughter of Margaret Barry, the street singer.
The granddaughter of Margaret Barry?
Yes, you know.
Well, I would have stayed home for that
too. She travelled while Packer Dunn.
She did, of course, yes. And Packer Dunn's still alive.
You know.
Bye, Margaret Barry. Well, tell me this and tell me no more. What is she like, the granddaughter of Margaret Barry?
Oh, lovely lady.
Is she nice? Did she sing a bit herself?
And I made them a cup of Irish coffee. Each.
I'm sure it was a while before they got out.
And I put a drop of the house you fire in it.
Well, did it work?
What? They have some days.
Anyway, let's not go down that road. So tell me this and tell me no more. Does she sing a little bit, that lady?
Yes, she's a voice on her like a lemon.
Did she render a bit, did she?
Oh, aye.
Did she sing for you?
Oh, yes. Oh, now she's a wee cracker.
Oh, maybe she'd come on to this programme and sing for us.
And do you know who's doing well?
Who?
I was talking to Sailor.
Who?
You know the wee lady answers the phone.
The one here?
Ah.
Emma or Janet? The one else? Yes, Janet. She's fine, yeah.
Wee Janet.
Yeah, you wee soft spot for her.
I was told her that Janet, the wee foal, is doing extra well.
Oh, the foal called Janet. Janet, you realise you've been named after a horse. You realise that. Well, that's good because Janet is very pleased.
The wee filly is skipping like a 2-year-old.
I wasn't sure if she'd take that well or not, but anyway, that's good. Well, Geordie, thank you for your news.
And thank you, Gerry.
It's a pleasure.
And don't forget, keep her lit till we get out.
Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, Gerry.
Keep her lit until we get out. Thank you. Hello?
Gerry.
Yes?
How you doing? It's Gabby and Yuri.
Yeah. Oh, Gabby, how are you?
Gerry, you were talking about Roy Orbison earlier.
Yes.
I was sitting one night with Jim Aiken and Mickey McGill.
Yes.
There was a presentation on in the town hall in Newry for the both of them, for a contribution to music.
Really? When is this?
This was a couple of years ago. I organised it. You know the council give out so many awards?
Yes, okay.
And I thought Mickey and Jim both, for a contribution to music, were entitled to an award, and I nominated them. So,
well deserved, yes.
Yeah, so Mickey had to go away. There was a sudden bereavement. Mickey had to go away.
Uh-huh.
And Jim and the wife was sitting there, and we're just talking about, because the Hilton Showband were getting an award the same night.
Yes.
And he said about Roy Orbison, he said he'd done the most amazing favour for me one night. He said, at 4 o'clock in the evening, he said, Roy Orbison was to do Belfast and Dublin.
Yes.
And at 4 o'clock in the evening, Gene Pitney, who was to do Lurgan and Oma,
yes,
came down with tonsillitis or a bad throat. And when he'd done the sound check, he couldn't sing. And Jim Meekins was sitting with a dilemma of these shows to go ahead. And in them days, you know the way when they opened at 8 o'clock, there was a queue waiting on the dance.
That's right.
The dance hall.
That's right.
he said Roy Orbison got in the car with him, done Belfast, come off the stage, drove up to Lorgan, went on in Lorgan about 9:15, come out of Lorgan, they drove and went up and they done Omagh. He said, we're coming up the hill out of Omagh at about 1:45 in the morning.
Yes.
And Roy Orbison said to Jim, how far away is this Dublin place?
Oh, my God.
And Jim Aiken says that the headlights picked up the sign Dublin. I think there's a sign coming out of Omagh and then there's 102 mile.
Uh-huh.
And he says, I dipped the lights so he couldn't see it. He says, well, not be long. And he went on in the venue in Dublin at 2:05 in the morning.
And the people stayed and waited for him?
The people waited because he had been to a phone box made. He said there were no mobile phones in them days. And he said when the whole thing was all over, he said Roy Orbison wouldn't take an extra penny off him for the night's work.
Just like Hugo.
Bit like yourself.
That's amazing, isn't
But
it?
isn't it a great story to hear that the showmanship, and it shows the professionalism when you could carry 4 shows in the one night. You know, you hear you boys talking about going on fresh at night and coming off needing a shave.
That's right, yeah.
You know, but you would do 5 hours in the stage.
Oh, my
that
God.
was Roy Orbison on one of his many, many trips to Ireland, being able to do that.
That's very interesting. Thank you for telling us that,
Okay.
Gerry. Thank you very
Bye.
much. Bye. What did Gene Pitney say whenever he got tonsillitis? I'm going to be strong. I've got tonsillitis. Stop it. I think I'm losing my mind. Listen, I played a thing yesterday. It was featured Gnarls Barkley, Supertramp and Rockwell. It was a bit of a mashup. A lot of people want to hear this again because they thought it was rather special. So I said to myself, as many people don't like that mashup, that's as good a reason as any to play it again. See how cruel and heartless and inconsiderate I am. That's it now, right? What happened there?
I haven't a clue.
Somebody came on and started playing the piano. I think we were knocked off the air, and somebody in Belfast went to some other studio. Never mind that.
Stop it. Could you give details of your mashups, please?
Mashups.
And why are you not playing Mrs. Miller? That's 2 questions.
That's very hard questions. And what about this one? Here's
what about mashup?
A gentleman. Mashups. Well, that one in particular was called Crazy Logic, and it's you can get all those on our website. It's www.gohomeproductions, GOHOMO productions.co.uk, and you can download those. There's lots and lots of them. I have a whole load of them here.
GoHomeProductions.com.
Yeah.
GoHomeProductions.com.
Mark Carruthers was interviewing an actor in Good Morning Ulster the other day. He was starring in Spamalot at the Opera House. Mark said, "Well, are you going to be here for a week? Will you get to go to the Crown Bar?" Actor said, "Yes, there's a magnet that draws me to the Crown." Mark said, "And will you get a chance to visit anywhere else while you're here?" The actor said, "Yes, I'm going to see the aquarium today." Mark says, "You'll see fish there." The actor says, "I think I might." I'll be back tomorrow. It's great what you tell
What
the
about
tourists.
Mrs. Miller?
Stop.